This is Governor DeSantis last week weighing in on the NCAA female swimming competition that we all know. I assume we all know because it's been all over the news that a transgender person won that. It was a person named Leah Thomas, who used to be a man and is now transitioned to a female, although there's some question as to what the nature of the transition is, and we don't want to get into all of those details because it's pretty graphic, but regardless, there's some question as to exactly how far Leah Thomas has transitioned into being a woman. But the point is, this former man who is now competing in women's sports really ran away with all of the records. I mean, basically went from as like 428 ranking in men's swimming to number one in the world in women's swimming, and is constantly setting records, etc. And, you know, it makes it tough for the actual women who were born women. And I had a thought as to how we might even address this, because they just don't have the same amount of muscle mass, so they just can't compete in these sports. But here's the greatest governor in the United States last week stepping into what is no doubt going to be a controversial topic, as it always is, and kind of jumping in with both feet and, taking a stand. You have to at least say Governor DeSantis is willing to take a stand where a lot of people across this country are not. We just saw the Utah governor veto a bill prohibiting transgender people from competing in the sport of the opposite sex that they were born with. And of course, I have this solution, which is just instead of men's sports and women's sports, let's just do it by chromosomes. You know, if you have the XY chromosome, then you're in this category. If you have the XX, that's a little silly, but it does kind of address the issue. But let's hear from Governor DeSantis on this point.
If you look at what the NCAA has done by allowing basically men to compete in women's athletics, in this case the swimming, you had the number one woman who finished was from Sarasota, Emin Wyant. She won the silver medal. She's been an absolute superstar her whole career. She trains. I mean, to compete at that level is very, very difficult, and you don't just roll out of bed and do it. That takes grit. That takes determination, and she's been an absolute superstar, and she had the fastest time of any woman in college athletics. Now, the NCAA is basically taking efforts to destroy women's athletics. They're trying to undermine the integrity of the competition, and they're crowning somebody else the women's champion. And we think that's wrong. And so in Florida, I'm going to be later today, because this is a Floridian who I think deserves to be recognized. You know, we're going to be doing a proclamation saying that Emma is the best female swimmer in the 500-meter freestyle, because she earned that. And we need to stop allowing organizations like the NCAA to perpetuate frauds on the public. And that's exactly what they're doing. They are putting ideology ahead of opportunity for women athletes.
That's pretty clear, isn't it? They're putting ideology ahead of opportunity for women athletes, because women athletes who were born women are simply not going to be able to compete with the male physique, with the male hormones, with everything else, the muscle mass that goes along with being male. You know, men and women are similar, but they're certainly not the same. And one of the areas where they really differ is muscle mass, physical strength, things like that. And that's where you really see the difference coming out in sports. So, hey, it's great to live in a state with a governor who's got the guts to take a stand on something. I, for one, appreciate it. We'll be right back. Thank you for listening to the Morgan Streetman Show. We hope you enjoyed what you heard, and if you did, please click like and subscribe to help us out. And remember that we recommend that you exercise your brain at least once a week.